The wait is almost over for the undisputed heavyweight champion, something we haven't had since Lennox Lewis achieved it back in 1999. The title of undisputed is more than just a collection of belts. It represents the pinnacle of modern boxing, a single fighter standing atop the entire division, holding all the major titles, providing fans a clear and definitive ruler of a division. For the heavyweight division, often hailed as the crown jewel of boxing, it carries a legacy that transcends the sport and makes you part of an immortal class of champions. With the likes of Muhammad Ali, Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson, George Foreman, Joe Frazier, and Sonny Liston. All these heavyweight greats have cemented their legacies by achieving such a feat, making this title ever more precious in the 4-belt era. And after what seems like years of back and forth between heavyweight champions, promoters and broadcasters trying to make an undisputed fight happen, only for it to fall flat on its face, Saudi Arabia have stepped in and pulled out the big bucks to finally make a heavyweight undisputed fight. Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk will finally get into the ring with each other on February 17th. It's a very interesting clash of styles where size, stances and ring IQ could play a significant part in the final outcome of the fight. And in today's tactical overview, I will analyse their respective strengths, weaknesses and strategies for the upcoming super fight that will be legacy defining as to who is the best heavyweight champion of this generation. So on that note, let's get right into it. First up, let's talk about the Gypsy King. Tyson Fury has had a tough time of it recently, with many fans being fed up of his cherry picking, having had plenty of chances to fight the likes of Joshua and Usyk over the years, and retiring multiple times in the process. But Fury once again came out of retirement, taking his chance to earn big money in Saudi versus the former UFC champion Francis Ngannou. No doubt thinking it would be an easy payday, Fury put on a pretty dismal performance, even being knocked down in the process by an MMA fighter's first professional boxing fight, with many feeling he in fact lost this fight. An embarrassing feat for someone who is openly claimed to be the greatest heavyweight ever.
I ain't no world champion, I'm a legend in this game. And you can't deny it, I'm the best heavyweight's ever been. There ain't never been one who could beat me. Because you know why? I'm not just being like confident. 6'9" frame, 270 pound weight, can move like a middleweight, can hit like a thunderstorm, and can take a punch like anybody else.
Personally, I think there were elements to Fury's poor performance, including underestimating Ngannou, not being fully fit, and Francis just being a big puncher. This is heavyweight boxing after all. Or could it just be that Tyson is potentially on the decline? Regardless, he got the victory, and it does help to set up this huge fight with Usyk. But now, going into this fight, I question how this will affect him psychologically, with so many playing him down. Does he know he's coming to the end? Or will this in fact bring out the very best of him in the ring? Something we have seen happen many times before, including against Vladimir Klitschko and Deontay Wilder. A motivated Fury is a very dangerous fighter in my opinion. But what will he need to do to win this one? The puzzle which is Oleksandr Usyk is yet to be solved by any opponent. If Tyson wants to win this one, he'll have to use all his strengths to his advantage. One being his exceptional size and reach advantage over Usyk. While even since Tyson took on Kronk-based trainer Sugar Hill, we have seen him take a much more aggressive approach, looking to get behind his jab and set up the right hand for a knockout. Now sure, he might be able to establish his dominance in the ring like this, but versus Usyk, it's clear more will be required. A more fundamental, straightforward approach, as seen with Joshua and Dubois, is not enough, and in my opinion, we need to see a different side to the Gypsy King in this one. So now let's look at the key areas that will be required to win this one. Now there are two ways Fury can utilise size to his advantage. He can look to box from the outside and establish the jab early to control distance and keep Usyk on the outside. Fury is, in my opinion, as well one of the best in the sport, using feints and giving his opponents different looks in the early rounds.
Klitschko is still basically looking at Fury and trying to figure out exactly what he wants to do.
In the case of Usyk, who's a fighter who does like to take the early rounds and download his competitor's movements before he really starts to commit to his attacks. If Tyson can frustrate Usyk alone in terms of working him out or prolonging him trying to close the range to get off his quick combinations, it could once again play into Fury's favour when Usyk comes in to close the gap at mid to short range potentially.
And Dillian Whyte is experiencing the problems that most fighters do against Tyson Fury. It's that gap. You can't close that gap without getting a hit. That's why you need the head movement, you see.
Fury, of course, is also the much bigger man, and even if he comes in lighter for this fight to handle the movement of the Ukrainian, I suspect he will still look to make this a very messy encounter at close range for Usyk, looking to clinch and use his body weight to drain him.
Ties right up on the inside. Look to land shots in at close quarters when you've got Tyson Fury just leaning on you and just holding you, grabbing you, tying you up.
While also taking the opportunity to fight him in those close exchanges, and tying him up could prove pivotal later down the line to win this fight.
Just a bet.
Yeah, Steve's almost done here. Look at this.
Oh, there's another going and he's down.
Now personally, Usyk, I imagine, will look to avoid this at all costs, and will be looking to use constant movement while keeping his head off the centre line. And it'll be interesting even for Usyk if he can fight and handle Fury on the inside. Now Fury has fought and switched into a southpaw stance many times before, and although I'm not saying in itself this would win the fight as a whole, I wouldn't be surprised if he may turn to a southpaw stance, give Usyk further problems to think about. By Fury changing to a southpaw stance, it could potentially create less space for Usyk by having a more closed off route of attack in the same stance, and help him get his jab off more. And it will be interesting to see if Tyson will do this at some points in the fight. We've also seen him shift off the ropes into a southpaw to continue his attacks and give him a positional advantage. And personally, I just feel this is another way Fury can keep Usyk at bay while also shortening the gap for his own punches. Chisora, of all people, had fantastic success shifting off to a southpaw stance to get off his jab, while shifting into the southpaw stance also helped Chisora to close the gap quickly and get on the inside. And of course, southpaw versus southpaw encounters can be unusual and could just give Fury the opportunity to land his power punches. Now, ever since his fight versus both Joshua and Dubois, the weak point for Usyk appears to be well-timed shots to the body or midsection. There's even evidence of this from his amateur days. Now, Joshua had success here in their second encounter by throwing the right hand when at close range, where we saw much discomfort in Usyk taking these shots even if they were low, while this also worked very well for Daniel Dubois when coming into range. However, also strayed a little too low with his. However, these shots can make an impact in hurting Usyk, and I do believe this should be a target for the Fury camp when he comes into range with hard right hands to the body.
Пояси аперкот, знову живіт. Ох, як починає вкладатися в удари Ентоні Джош.
Not only could this slow down the Ukrainian, it could even take him out if he lands a well-placed shot, and this tactic itself may play into Fury's ability to control the distance if Usyk has to get past the reach of Fury to land anything of significance. It may just give him the opportunity to purposely land these blows. From range, Fury also mixes up his backhand behind his jab, throwing the right hand to the body after he uses his double flicker jabs, which often help to occupy the guard before going downstairs. However, he does need his opponent to be stationary, which Usyk is not that often. Now, fighting on the inside and applying pressure is a lot easier said than done, and since his move up to heavyweight, only Derek Chisora and Anthony Joshua in certain moments in their second fight has really managed to put Usyk under intense pressure and in a very uncomfortable position on the inside. However, this approach can lead to more energy expenditure and getting countered coming into range. Deontay Wilder, Otto Wallin, and Steve Cunningham, opting to use the high guard to walk them down, closing the space for them not to get off the full extensions of their punches. Now, unlike Wilder, Usyk does not have that one punch knockout power at heavyweight. It is more a culmination of shots. So there is the possibility we could see Fury resort to going into a high guard and walking Usyk down to close the gap and start fighting him in that inside position, taking one to get one. Well, if he gets in that position, don't be surprised if he starts using lots of dirty tactics, including using framing with his forearms to get off his punches before the ref tries to break them. And with a 270 pound plus heavyweight coming forward, trying to fight you in those positions, will be something Usyk has never really truly encountered. Personally, I believe if Fury can do some damage with body shots early in the fight, and from the mid-rounds onwards take a far more aggressive approach, he might just be able to take out the Ukrainian. Now let's take a look at the crafty Ukrainian Oleksandr Usyk. Going into this fight, Usyk could be considered a favourite considering Fury's last performance. However, some gaps in his game have started to appear since moving up to the heavyweight division. Despite the evidence he can be hurt to the body and struggle with the size disparity at times, his resilience, stamina and work rate to keep pushing through and upping the intensity is a testament to how mentally strong Usyk is. And ever since Oleksandr moved up to the heavyweight division, the dream has always been to become the undisputed heavyweight champion.
Does the goal remain the same, to become heavyweight champion, and do you still believe you can achieve that?
Абсолютным чемпионом мира.
The undisputed heavyweight champion.
Brilliant, thank you very much.
No just world champion.
Not just world champion?
No just world champion. Undisputed world champion.
Brilliant.
However, in the era of heavyweight Goliaths, including his upcoming opponent, he has instead used his incredible mobile style and skill set to his advantage, in most cases completely outboxing most of his opponents, with most heavyweights for the most part in this era not being as mobile or agile on their feet. However, he comes up against a very different heavyweight in size and style to what he's ever faced in his career. Fury has mocked him about being too small to handle him.
Usyk, middleweight, you say you want the WBC, and all road leads to a 7-foot behemoth that will absolutely destroy you, middleweight. Middleweight, you will get smashed to bits.
But although he's putting him down in public, you have to hope Fury is treating him seriously behind closed doors. Otherwise, Usyk could run rings around him. Oleksandr, for me, has proven he can beat much bigger men. He's already become undisputed champion and knows what it takes, and his impact goes beyond brute force. He's an artist of the sweet science, with one of the best ring IQs in the sport, and that's exactly what he'll need to defeat Fury. But now, let's take a look at the individual elements that will be required from him. Now, a pivotal factor in Usyk's approach to this fight lies in his exceptional footwork and movement, a testament to the mastery of his outboxing style, adapting his amateur and Soviet styles seamlessly into the pros. Usyk employs a constant pendulum step, strategically positioned at the edge of his opponent's range, utilising that in and out movement dynamic. This not only grants him the ability to punish overcommitments, but also showcases his prowess as one of the best outboxers in the sport.
Bit of a standoff, but oh, big left hand from Usyk.
While as a southpaw, Usyk's intelligent manoeuvres to secure the outside position cleverly align with his jab.
That right hand going right at the skull of Joshua, and there's Usyk again with his own left hand.
This typical southpaw tactic not only avoids the orthodox fighter's right hand, but strategically places him for effective setups, particularly with the left hand or even the right hook from a different angle. Against Fury, Usyk's success hinges on adapting to Fury's approach. If Fury advances with the high guard aiming to close the range, Usyk's dynamic movement favouring the right becomes crucial to avoid the clinches, while controlling the distance with his lead hand. While the other side is if Fury opts to use long range boxing, Usyk can assert pressure using his pendulum step and lead hand to draw out attacks from Fury, giving him the opportunity to counter. And examining Fury's tendencies against southpaws, such as his fight versus Wallin, it revealed his preference for a lower lead hand guard, which did create hesitation on Wallin taking the outside angle, as he would sometimes throw it as a lead left hook. With that being the case, Usyk therefore has to employ constant lateral movement while slipping off the centre line constantly. This, for me, is the way to disrupt Fury's jab and lead hand, and for him to set up his own phased attacks. Notably, Fury's recent opponents have been relatively stationary, providing an opportunity for Usyk's lateral movement to really shine. If Fury isn't prepared to turn and pivot with Usyk, it will simply help the Ukrainian get off more of his combinations and single shots from that outside angle. Now, one of the most remarkable ways in Usyk's style is his masterful use of the lead hand. It's akin to fencing, seamlessly integrated with his pendulum footwork. His southpaw jab is a standout feature, with staggering stats, an average of 28.8 jabs thrown per round, and one of the highest jab thrown percentages in the pound for pound list, just behind Bivol on CompuBox. But what is truly extraordinary for me is his ability to do this at heavyweight, consistently employing the lead hand throughout a 12 round bout. In this upcoming Clash of Fury, I very much expect Usyk to leverage this skill strategically. If Fury aims to control the centre or box in the back foot, Usyk will likely use the lead hand to try push Fury back, disrupting his rhythm and applying relentless pressure with it. The tactical approach not only forces unnecessary defensive reactions from opponents, but also sets the stage for Usyk's dynamic movement, incorporating the pendulum to reset or slip punches and attack from different angles. Usyk's jab serves more than just a probing tool. It's a distraction, forcing opponents to adjust, move, or open up their guard to counter its persistent presence. Very much functioning like a fencing foil, Oleksandr constantly changes the level and position of his lead hand, creating indecision in his opponents on whether to open up or defend. In essence, the ever-changing variation of Usyk's lead hand could provide him the crucial momentum and control in specific moments in this fight, and without question for me, is his best weapon in his arsenal. Usyk's ability to win this fight will also extend on the strategic art of closing the distance against Tyson Fury. Employing well-timed entries while utilising his feints to probe Fury's reactions will be vital, while also reading Fury's own feints will be crucial, or he could very well walk into an unnecessary punch. With that being said, Usyk will need to do more with the lead hand, footwork, slips and level changes. Fury's long-range advantage is going to be evident given his larger frame and reach. Usyk will most likely recognise that winning this fight at distance isn't the path to victory. Instead, Usyk's brilliance will lie in his ability to close the gap and unleashing combinations with surgical finesse before moving out of danger, either pivoting out to his right or moving linearly backwards to try reset himself again. Merely on Fury's body will be key for this fight. Since Usyk's move up to the heavyweight division, we've seen him use quick transitioning combos from head to body, and I believe this will keep Fury guessing and disrupt his attempts for his defensive rhythm. Fury will no doubt look to clench and fight on the inside, so each punch will need to be a strategic investment, as it could come down to how well Usyk can take these shots from Fury. Finally, adapting to Tyson Fury's unorthodox style is a pivotal aspect for Usyk's game plan. Fury's unpredictable movements will simply require Usyk to remain flexible in his strategy for this fight. Whether Fury opts for a more elusive head movement, unorthodox feints, sudden shifts in distance, Usyk must stay attuned to his dynamic nature in the fight. However, saying this, Fury's movement, though unconventional, can create openings, and if any fighter can exploit these moments, it's Usyk. And he needs to be ready for effective counterattacks and well-timed defensive maneuvers when these happen. Furthermore, Usyk must be ready for Fury's potential shifts to the southpaw stance, A move that alters the guard position and opens up new angles of attack for him, as Fury may well do this if he wants to try and close the distance on him. But it's a lot easier said than done, obviously, and it all comes down to how Usyk can read the fight and Fury, while the other aspect he must be prepared for is fighting at close quarters. Usyk's strategy is always very graceful, whereas if Fury to hurt Fury or counter him when he does close him down.
That first round, according to CompuBox, Fury. Oh! He's knocked down.
As this for me is one of the weak points in Usyk's game, and he simply can't rely on the ref to help break it up, or Fury will simply punish him in these situations. In the collision between Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk, the stage is set for a monumental clash in the heavyweight division. These two titans, each with their unique arsenal of skills and strategies, are poised to engage in a battle that could reshape the landscape of the heavyweight hierarchy. Will the boxing artistry of Usyk be able to face the towering challenge of Fury's unorthodox style? And the question looms large. Can he close the distance wisely and navigate the uncharted territories of Fury's movements and size? Or will it just prove too much? Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk both confronted challenges that have tested the fabric of their existence. They're not just pugilists, they are two men that have had to go through adversity and show unyielding resolve in two very different ways. Tyson Fury, a man marked by the ebbs and flow of life, has faced his battles both in and out the ring. His struggles with mental health and personal demons have cast shadows upon his journey. Yet like a phoenix, he rises, he finds a way, and it's a testament to the human spirit and ability to endure, overcome, and emerge stronger from the darkest depths. Usyk, a cruiserweight maestro who ventured into the heavyweight arena, faced skepticism and uncertainty. Yet with every challenge, he proved us wrong, and his greatness lies in adapting amidst uncertainty. His journey mirrors Ukraine's resilience amid hardships of war, a proud Ukrainian, and a man that symbolises not just personal fortitude, but the spirit of a nation facing adversity. In the ring, he carries the weight of his challenges, becoming a symbol of unwavering strength for a country navigating its own struggles. Usyk's pursuit for greatness mirrors his country's resilience in the face of hardship. But as the final chapter of their stories unfolds within the boxing ring, spectators bear witness to more than just a contest for supremacy. It's a celebration of their resilience to keep moving forward. But only one can become undisputed and cement their legacy as the best of this generation. This has been Jamie from Boxing Life. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the fight. Do you think Usyk has what it takes to defeat the Goliath of Tyson Fury? Or will Tyson Fury's size and unorthodox style even prove too much for the Ukrainian? We will find out on February 17th. This has been Jamie from Boxing Life. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll leave you with this.
Beautiful.
17 лютого буде один чемпіон. 17 February will be one champion.
Good. It's our destiny now to go on and fight for the championship. Nobody else was chosen in all the 24 years. Many heavyweight champions before you, before me, before us. But they didn't have the opportunity to fight for the undisputed championship for one reason or the other.
Of course.
So, all we've got to do now is dance. And I look forward to the challenge.
And landed punches counted by CompuBox. Oh, big left hook by Fury. Fury throwing it up again.
And that's it. Fury with the uppercut. What a punch. And he couldn't recover from it with the punch of his life. What a punch. Right uppercut.
Unified heavyweight champion of the world, Tyson.
With real, minimum effort push. And that team lights out for Tony Bellew. Dave Colwell straight in the ring. I think he's going to stop it. And Oleksandr Usyk finds the answer and cements his place as the World Cruiserweight
his professional record is a perfect one. He's an Olympic gold medal champion.
Going right at the skull of Joshua, and there's Usyk again with his own left hand.
Heavyweight champion of the world, fighting for the people and the nation of Ukraine, Oleksandr Usyk.
There only being 3 minutes to go.
Of course, good body shot. Of course, you can.
Usyk is having the fight of his life at the perfect time.
Absolutely.
You know what's coming, you're getting smashed to pieces, sausage. You're fighting the best British heavyweight there's ever been. Dauntless in these waters, me. You beat all the rest of them, but you ain't beat Tyson Fury yet, sausage. You can never beat me. If you beat me in your dreams, you better wake up and apologise. I stole that from Ali, by the way, sorry.
To be here, thank you so much, everybody, people. I more speak in the ring.